Hey, Promise.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Look, my name is CJ. I was advised by one of my teachers to come and see you. I really love the career, like the career field that I've chosen and like my area of study. And like, I like everything about it. It's just like, it's a hard career field to find like a job in. Like I mean, you can have a future in it, but it's just hard to financially be stable about it. And it's just like confusing me, and I'm really confused about what I should do. So that's why I came to you.
Okay, first off, anything that you say here is confidential. I can refer to people and I can like share information only if you allow me to do that. And anything that you report, if it is in harm of you or someone else, then I have to report that too.
Okay.
So you feel like the career that you've chosen, like you really love the career, but you don't feel like in the future you'll have enough stability. Is that right?
It's that's how I feel. I mean, it's a scary thought, knowing that you're doing what you love, but knowing what you love financially could not be the best choice. And it's a hard thing to do with, like thinking, this is what I really want to do versus this is what I really have to do. And it's just a big decision for me to have to make.
What other career choices do you have in mind?
Even though you're just dad, but
I'm a little,
snap at my voice.
marketing.
I know. Okay.
Is that something that you're interested in, or is that something that you're just willing to do?
It's something that I'm just willing to do. It's something that like I'm kind of good at. Like I'm kind of good at it. It's not something I enjoy. It's just kind of like one of those things I'm just kind of good at. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, would you be willing to do both careers? Like, you could incorporate marketing into your what is your major?
No.
Theater major.
Theater major. You could incorporate that into your theater major.
Doesn't look like me.
You see, and I was speaking with a friend of mine that she's also doing the same thing. Incorporating both. She wants to be a talent agent, so she's able to incorporate both and still be able to get that theater that she loves while having a job that's very conventional.
Maybe you could get together with her and see what her outlook is on that and see what she's done to prepare herself for that.
I think that's a great idea.
And is there any other interests that you have besides theater?
Marketing, as I said before, music, cryptozoology.
And what is that?
Cryptozoology is the study of mythical animals. So like the study of Bigfoot or things, but people actually get paid like a lot of money to like look into that. Like, don't quote me on it, but I think the annual salary for a cryptozoologist is like $80,000 a year.
So have you looked into that?
I mean, it's like one of those like interest, like it's kind of like an interest, but it's like just something fun to look into. But I mean, I like that as well.
Okay. What about?
It's right after judges.
Have you thought about other careers like
I knew I opened the
music
right door.
producing or behind the scenes of theater? There could be a lot of jobs there.
Yeah, that's also true. I was speaking with one of my advisors, and they said a lot of their. She told me that a lot of her graduates, a lot of her students actually go into like sound and like doing sound for like major theaters and major works and doing that. So I mean, that's something I could also look into.
What specifically do you want to do in your major?
I want to perform.
What do you read?
I love to perform. I am a performer myself. That's what I enjoy to do.
That's what I read.
So that's what I want to do.
Okay. And performing, say like a big performer like on Broadway or
Mhm.
musicals, or just
Whatever pays the bills. But I want to be able to perform and that be my constant source of income.
okay? So what are your most positive sides of your major?
I would say some positives in my major are the chance to get to know who you are as a person, like really getting to explore the person that you are, learning about yourself, learning to be at peace with yourself. Those are some some upsides to my major. Um, Being able to perform, to be seen, being able to become another person. When you're on the stage, you're not just another character, you're another person. You're able to transform and go to this whole other land or go into this whole other state of being. And I love being able to do that. I love being able to express that on the stage. I love being able to show that, to inspire somebody else to want to do what I do.
Would you say that being able to express while you're acting helps you personally being able to express yourself?
It's interesting because it's said that with any role that you perform, you have to find like a little bit of yourself in each role that you perform. So like when you have to do that, you have to really know who you are as a person, or get to like the nitty gritty parts, the parts that you don't want to see, that you have to go into, because it's like you could be a really nice person performing this role, a really mean character, and you have to like find those little mean parts of yourself that you have to be like, no, you can't be mean, and you have to use that in your performance. Or really nice, you could be a really mean person playing a really nice character, and you have to find those parts of yourself. So it's always interesting to have to go and analyze a character, to analyze what the character does, who the character is, and then be like, okay, what parts of myself can I pull to reflect in this character?
And so what do you think are your weakest links of being in your major?
Weakest links in my major, I feel as if it's definitely not a career path that pays the bills. Depending on what area you're going into, then yes, I mean you can make a decent living. But just being like a performer, like doing things like that, it's typically harder to just like pay all of your bills, like make a complete living off of that, unless you're like a professional, or like you're like amazingly awesome at being able to do it, or you have like this long resume that does not end. But yeah.
Do you think it would be beneficial for students to be recruited in a sense, to agents by their professors?
I feel like this is just my personal opinion about it. I feel like when it comes to things of that nature, I feel like that they should expose you. Your professor should expose you to people that are looking for talent. Like that should be the end result. That at the end they should expose you to people that you can potentially make connections with, or they should, to things like that. I do feel like that's a thing we should do.
Do you think that is something that professors here don't do?
I feel like they do it. Yeah, the professors they do a pretty good job at it.
So, thinking about that, does that change your mindset on future?
It does, but it's still like, it's one of those things, it changes my mindset, but there's still that question of what if. And I've learned, I'm a person that always has that what if, always asking that what if. And I've learned that sometimes I can't do that. Sometimes I have to just let things happen as they are.
And whenever you think about your future, you said that you have an interest in business. How would you incorporate that
Interest in business. Well, as an
Like, if you could wake up tomorrow and something else would be different, what would it be?
If I could wake up tomorrow and something else would be different. Um, if I'm understanding the question correctly, if I wake up tomorrow and like, if I decided to choose a different area, like
If you were to incorporate your business with your theater major, what would it look like?
That's kind of a hard question. Being an actor, being a performer, you're constantly having to market yourself. Um, in the career field, you have to look at it like this. There are 5 people up for the part that you want, for the job that you want. So you have to market yourself, make yourself marketable, make yourself approachable, make yourself available to where they would want to pick you for that job. It's all about being able to put yourself out there and make yourself available, make yourself what people want. So if I had to include marketing into that, I would start learning like more things, how to market myself. You know, I know this kind of sounds weird, but you have to market yourself as if you're a business. Like, you know, if you have a new business and you want investors to invest in it, you know, you have to go with this is the upsides and these are the downsides and these are the outcomes and this is what you would get out of the business. This is what you wouldn't get. So you have to do all of that as a performer, as to yourself. So that's what I would incorporate.
That is a good idea. So that's something that you could probably do
Yeah.
to get your foot in the door in other places or
True.
shows. So you thought of that on your own.
Oh, well, thank you. I did, didn't I?
Would you like to talk about anything else?
I think I'm fine for today, but thank you so much for taking this time and speaking with me today.
You're welcome. If you need to come back anytime, my door is always open.
All right. I'm gonna go